Well, hello everyone, this is Linda, and you are watching Linda Sue Plants for You. Today, we're going to talk about my purple passion plant, or purple velvet, or it's also, let's see, the botanical name is Generius something or other. I'll put it on the screen when I edit the video. But the reason I'm doing the video on this, and I know a lot of you don't really care about purple passion. It's a very common plant, and as beautiful as it is, I think we've heard more than we need to hear about it. But the reason I'm doing the video today is twofold. One is to just give you an update. As you know, she was a victim of my thrips ordeal here, and I'll tell you what, she has come back 3 times the size as far as her leaf size. She's doing wonderfully. My original plant, and I'll try and find a clipping of that and insert it in here if I can. I had my original plant like this, was huge and very, very healthy until I had the other problem. But anyways, the other reason I want to do this video is I'm going to be experimenting. I've always grown my purple velvet in my east window in my laundry area, and I have other plants there now that are going to be going outside shortly, so I don't have room to put this there. So I stuck it up under between my kitchen and living room, and under my Mars Hydrolite, and that's how I got all this beautiful growth. Problem is, I also got this, and this piece has got to be, I don't know, about 2.5 feet long. It's pretty long. It just keeps going and going like the Ever Ready Buddy. There it is. Where's the end? There it is. Okay, so here's my dilemma. Normally, if I were to take a cutting from this plant, I would take it like, say, right above maybe this leaf here. Okay, I would cut it here, and I would take this bottom leaf off, and I would stick it in the soil. Now, I cannot recall if I have ever tried to root a stem without a node. And if I want to root this, that's what's going to happen, because there are no nodes on here, except where the leaves come out. And one of the things that you want to do when you root this, when you take cuttings for this plant, is you want to make sure you have at least 3 leaves on the top. So like this piece here would be a perfect spot to take a cutting from. Let's see if I can untangle this a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about, maybe. Okay. There we go. So normally I would take the cutting right here, and then I would take off this leaf, and then I would put the rest of this in soil. And that's giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 leaves. Oh, great. That wasn't good. 5 leaves on the top, and then a good enough stem along with the node from where I cut this leaf off. However, I don't have that option with this because I don't have all those leaves and I don't have any nodes. But I can't just leave this like this. I can't do it. I love trailing plants, but I don't like leggy plants. So here's what I'm going to do. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to have suggestions after the fact, and you're more than welcome to leave those comments, but I'm going to move forward here and get this done, so whatever your thoughts are afterwards are probably not going to help me. But my daughter said she's having the same problem with the plant that I gave her. So, honey, if you're watching, this is partly for you, okay? What I'm proposing to do is take a cutting, you know, cut right here and leave this one leaf on and then stick it in soil. And I'm going to do that all the way down this vine. Something tells me that I will get roots even though there's not a node on there. So I'm going to chance it. And in doing so, I'm also going to give it the most optimal conditions to start with, which would be I'm going to put these in soil, not water, because I don't want to transfer them from water to soil when they're done. And in the past, whenever I've propagated this plant, I've just cut them off, made a hole in the existing plant pot, stuck it in there, packed it down a little bit, and made sure that it stayed a little moist. And that can be a little difficult too, because you could end up overwatering your original plant when you do that if you're not careful. But it's always worked for me, so I've never had an issue. But because I don't have any nodes on here, and because there's only one leaf, I'm going to try and put this in soil and in this pot. Hopefully it'll be deep enough. And I'm going to put it in a plastic bag, and I'm going to stick it in my window in my dining room. So that way the humidity will be as good as it can get, and especially at this time of year it should be okay. Now whether or not it's going to produce roots along the edge here without having a node, I cannot remember if I've ever done that in the past. I may have, and that may work. We're about to find out. So let's start with removing this from the mother plant. Where do we want to do that? Let's see. I think I'm going to go down to here, or maybe even here. Yeah. Because wherever I cut, now remember, in case you don't already know this, wherever you cut, it's going to branch out more. So where do I want this to get full? I don't want it to happen way on the end. So I'm going to do it, I think I'm going to do it right here. Right above this leaf. Ooh, that hurts. That really hurts to do. Mentally, I mean, you know. All right. Now, I am going to take this leaf off of here. And I do not believe that that will do anything, so I'm going to set that aside. Now this one, I'm pretty sure will root because we do have a node here from just cutting this off. So I'm going to cut this here. And by the way, folks, I did sterilize my scissors with alcohol and then wiped it clean, which you should always do before cutting into your plants, so you're not introducing bacteria into it. All right, now this one isn't going to have a node unless I cut this leaf off and then cut it here. But then I'm going to have a cutting this long. That's just not, that's not going to be good. So I'm going to try this once again. And keeping in mind it's only got one leaf, and that's really just not good. We really want to have more than one, but I don't have a choice in this case, do I? All right, so we're going to do it again above this leaf. Okay, and one more time. And, you know, the worst case scenario that can happen here is they don't make it. I still have a very beautiful, healthy plant that I can take cuttings from. So, and this one I'm just going to leave like this. Okay. And I probably will be doing some rooting on this plant in the very near future. But for the purposes of today's video, we're just gonna, I just wanted to see how this experiment is gonna work, if it's going to work. Now keep in mind again, I'm using pretty much all-purpose potting soil. It does have, I do add perlite, and there is some, I did add worm castings to it as well, so. And I believe I have a little sand in here yet from my last planting. Okay. I'm gonna get water all over. Alright, we're gonna put a little water in here because the soil is so dry. Pretty soon I'm going to be into my next bag of potting soil that most likely it will be damp when I open up the bag. You know how it's usually kind of moist. This soil has been sitting out in my black tub for several months, and part of the reason for that is I wanted to make sure if there was anything living in that soil that it died, which it will if it doesn't have any moisture. The larva can't live. And I still made a mess. Isn't that what we do, though? We make messes. We're good at that. Okay. Yeah, that's really taking some time here. So I'm going to just leave this sit on here, probably. Let me see. Probably going to take a while to soak that up. So let's just get the plant in, and then I'll come back and show you. Now it probably would help to add a little rooting powder, but because I know a lot of people don't have access to that, I'm not going to use it this time because I want to see if this is going to work for the average person. And honestly, in my experience, I'm not sure if the rooting powder is the only time that I can remember really where I knew for sure. I don't know why this doesn't want to go down. Where the rooting powder really helped was my Scindaptus exotica. And the reason I know it did is because I had it in the water forever and it didn't want to do anything. And 2 or 3 times I re-snipped the bottom of that stem. And the last time I did it, I put it in rooting powder and put it back in the water, and lo and behold, I got roots. So I do believe it was because of the rooting powder. So in that instance, I did see a difference. But I have used rooting powder for quite a while, and a long time. And I think I even did an experiment one time. There might even be a video on that where I did 2 things, one in rooting powder and one not, and there was no difference. So I guess the moral of it is, if it makes you feel better to use it, go ahead. It can't hurt anything, but I don't believe it's absolutely necessary. And will it help and aid in developing roots? It might. it might not make a difference. I think I've heard too that it helps to keep the bacteria out of the new cutting. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I did hear that, so. Okay. Well, she's just cute already, isn't she? Such a beautiful color. Just amazing to me what the color that we have in our plant world. Okay, and we have 2 more. And today's Friday. Fish Friday for us here in Wisconsin. My hubby and I went on a little 3-day getaway a while back. Well, it's really been a while actually. It's been 8 years ago. But we were heading south from Wisconsin, and we left on a Friday, and I couldn't wait to stop and get a fish fry on the way there. We had to get through Chicago traffic, and then on the other end of that, we stopped at a family-style restaurant, and I was looking for the fish fries, and I didn't see any. And when the waitress came, I said, do you have any fish fry specials? And she said, I'm not sure what you mean by fish fry, but all our specials are on the board. And she pointed to the board over by the door. So I got up and looked at that, and they had 2 specials. One was grits and something, and I don't even remember what the other one was, but I went back to the table and I looked at my husband, and I started laughing, and he said, what is so funny? I said, I don't know if they didn't change the boards from this morning, or I said, but their Friday night special is grits and something, I forget, grits and sausage or something. And I thought, okay, so I looked at the menu, and the only fish that they had was shrimp, deep fried shrimp. Well, I had such a taste for fish at that point, it was like, okay, I'll try that. And it was okay. It was nothing to write home about, but it satisfied my fish craving. And well, when we left there, I forget what my husband got ordered, but when we left there, we weren't 2 miles down the road, and there was this huge billboard, and it's had a picture of a full set of dentures. Just, that's it, that's all that was on there. No face, nothing, just a full set of dentures, and in big bold letters it said, full set, full set of teeth, only $99. And it struck my funny bone. I laughed so hard, and he didn't know what I was laughing about, and so I made him go back and read the sign, and then he started laughing, and we were in a belly roar for I don't know how long. You know, we've laughed about that so many times in the last 8 years or whatever it's been. And I think the reason it struck us to be so funny is because when I told them what the sign said, I followed it with, well, that would explain why their local special are grits, because you don't need teeth to eat that. And he laughed so hard, and I laughed so hard, and we were just, I just get such a kick out of it, because did you ever have one of those things, folks, that just, it strikes your funny bone and you cannot stop laughing? And maybe it's not even that funny, or to other people it may not be funny at all, but for some reason it's just got you in a roar, and that was one of those things. It still makes me laugh, because I guess it was just, you had to be there, but it was like, okay, that would explain why grits would be the local special on a Friday night. Because if nobody around here has any teeth, you know, I don't know. I guess you had to be there. And it was just funny as all heck. So, but yeah, that was, yeah, I don't even know why. How did I get on that? I don't know. Why did I even think of that just now? I don't know. Maybe when I go back and edit this, it'll click. But all right, my friends, this is it. Oh, because we were talking about Friday night fish fries. That's right. All right. So, okay. Well, that'll be it. Wish me luck. I'm not going to continue the video. I'm just going to show you this. And just trust me, please. I'm going to put it in a big plastic bag. Maybe I'll do an update on it in a week or so and let you know how it's doing. But wish me luck, because I don't really expect this to do anything. I'll be surprised. If this gets roots, there is one stem in here that has a node. The rest of them is just stem. So let's see what happens. That'll be a good way to compare, right? Okay. I hope you all have a great Friday, and if you guys don't have fish fries by you, I'm sorry. You don't know what you're missing. That's a staple here in Wisconsin. And I look forward to it every week, so. Okay. You all have a great day. Stay safe. Bye now.